All right, I think everything should be working fine. Let me quickly confirm that's the case indeed. Yeah, but I see already there is. Quickly confirm that's the case indeed. Yeah, there's this last stream is already on air on X, so yeah, so we can start. And yeah, so of course my name is High Tech, and on these live streams I talk about what just happened just recently in recent hours because I was live streaming like 10 or 12 hours ago already. So what has happened in the crypto market, what I think about it regarding 11 years of my experience. And I also explain what is high-tech meme coin. This is the mint address of it and why. You should probably be interested. But okay, let's go. Let's see what is up today, or actually now, currently. If you guys have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat. Here I will see. Oh, okay, I forgot actually to. I forgot to turn on live chat on Kik because last time there was somebody writing me on Kik and I didn't see it because the live chat was off. So allow me to quickly turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it on, sorry. I said turn it off. Allow me to quickly turn it on. Okay, here it is. Actually, I must remember this URL because it's very simple. But today I have a little bit silly mood. Okay, now it's ready. So here, if anybody writes me on Kik, I'll see it here. If anybody writes me on remaining platforms except X, I will see it here, and X itself, I will see it on my mobile phone. So we are ready. Now everything is ready. So like I said, today I have a very silly mood. So forgive me that. Forgive me that if I laugh and I do not really sound funny. I'm sure you had one of those days in your life already, so you can understand me. So as you see here, this is Bitcoin chart naturally, and we still haven't abandoned here, haven't exited this zone. Unfortunately, I mean, yesterday I was speculating, as you may remember. I was speculating when we were still here. I was speculating. Okay, so that's it. We already have this sell of behind us. We are over the hill, and now we can start the rally, right? We already have the crash and the shakeout, and we are off to the races. But apparently, that's not the case yet. At least not yet. Maybe this shakeout is still ongoing. We'll see if it goes deeper. It can go deeper. I'm not going to lie to you. It can go deeper. If it goes deeper, I mean, it definitely will not be as deep as the one here. It will be weird. I mean, although on Bitcoin is actually a different story. On altcoins, it's not going to be as deep as the first one because the first one was literally nailing the floor, but not on the ground floor, more like in the basement, and maybe even in the basement on one of minus floor, right in the underground parking or something like that, something among those lines. But on Bitcoin, because this drop here on Bitcoin wasn't really that large. I mean, Bitcoin have seen definitely much worse than that. Here it was like minus 16%. From here, minus 16% wouldn't be, the biggest disaster I've seen on Bitcoin chart. I'm in this market since 2015, so I've seen quite a lot. So yes, it's possibly in the cards, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely it gets as deep as the first one. The second one usually is much more shallow. So that's my guess. But it also could be already. It could already be over. This could be it, right? But eventually, like I said, never go all in. If you want to allocate, into Bitcoin, if you're eager to do that, still never go all in. That's very silly thing to do. Always train yourself, train your brain, train your body or whatever, whatever you need, right? I don't know, your sister, your dog, whatever you need to never go all in and avoid futures market. That one you're supposed to learn on Friday. People lost a lot of money. A lot of money. Those that did not listen to me and still traded leverage market. Sorry, it could be it. We already have this W, a little bit weird W pattern. If you go like this. So that would write into how it should look. It should look like a W pattern at the end of the day. And moreover, in some part of the globe, some parts of the globe, we are already in Thursday, right? So, like for example, where I'm at, I think in Miami, it's still not not Thursday. I think is it still Wednesday? Yeah, most likely, because this live stream I always set it from Miami. Although this time I think I haven't done so. So I fix it later. Anyhow, that is why this day is much more important than any other day, because as you may remember, last week when I was pointing it out, Thursday has that weird power recently. I mean, it wasn't like this always. It's a thing of recent time. Thursday has acquired some weird power of telling us how the rest of the week is gonna look. And again, I don't know if you remember, but last Thursday was red, and later, after Thursday, there was Friday, and that Friday we saw the biggest liquidation event in the history of the crypto space. So if that does not prove you that something's going on, something's on, something or something's up with Thursday, then nothing will convince you anymore. So that's why I'm very eager to see what market is going to show today. We're going to see growth. Are we going to see green daily candle today, or we're going to see a red one? Let me take a look which way we are leaning right now, because according to UTC time zone, which is the one you always should use for for trading. I don't remember any, let's say, trading website or trading tool that use different, let's say, chart, different candles rather than based on UTC. But maybe, I don't know. If you use anything like that, then you should not. You should always use UTC and UTC time when you trade. That's the most important. And yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look how it looks. Okay, so far it's green. So far it's green. That's a good beginning. 1 hour and almost 30 minutes in. 88 minutes in, to be more exact. And we are having a daily candle. So let's hope it stays this way. Let's hope it stays this way. Okay, this one allow me to remove it. Now let's take a look how Bitcoin dominance is behaving. It's reducing slightly. So that's good. Wednesday and UTC time, as you see, was green. And because of that, it gives me a little bit of a bullish vibe, because you can find this kind of a pattern fairly often on different time frames, something like that, where there is this uptrend and let's say this upward deviation from initially quite steady growth, and later it gets sold off, and it still continues because general inertia is upwards. So that's why I don't like the way it looks, but still probabilities favor hugely this thing. Breaking out from here, breaking down, and just falling lower. Even though when you look at it, when you actually have like a lot, many years behind your belt of staring at charts, when you see something like this, it gives you a bullish vibe, right? It gives you a bullish vibe, but this is not price action. This is a dominance chart, so that's let's say is subject to completely different rules. The higher it is in percentage terms, because this is one range, right? This is not a price. This is one range, so that will never change. So if we are above 50, we are actually already getting high. We actually get higher probabilities of going below 50, right? By default. So yeah, considering what just happened with the altcoin market, I have a very hard time believing it will stay like this. Because even though, one thing to consider, that it could have escaped your attention. One thing to consider is some of altcoins, many of altcoins, touched minus 99%, and Bitcoin dominance still did not go above this previous local high, right? Many of altcoins went minus 99%, and the dominance still did not make higher high. So I don't know what you think about it, but me personally, I believe it's very telling. I believe it's very telling that the days of Bitcoin dominance, you can count them on fingers of one hand. To be honest, they're right at the very end of the road. Bitcoin dominance is literally ending. So yeah, so that is why to a great degree, I'm ignoring what I see here. The bullish signs I see here, I'm ignoring them, because this sign here, that we did not actually beat even some first major zone of resistance with such catastrophic event for altcoins, of course, because it was nowhere near any catastrophe for Bitcoin, and we still did not mark, even with a week, a higher high on Bitcoin dominance. I have no more questions, to be honest. That's it. That's it. Bitcoin dominance is done. Even though you still don't see it very, very, very in a very pronounced way. It's still unofficial, but it will have to turn out to be that way. In my opinion, of course, I could be wrong on that. Maybe I see something I want to see. Sometimes it's fairly difficult to remove your personal bias. That's why I never trade manually. I trade with the help of my trading systems I created, and they do an amazing job. I show here my Bitcoin entries, Bitcoin exits, and if you watch me long enough, you know very well how much it kicks ass, right? But since I'm the creator, I'm the author. All of that algorithm is 100% proprietary. So I do not use any let's say external algorithms for it. I did not borrow anything from anybody. That means probably I know I think or two about how markets operate. And I say this thing is about to go lower. But also let's remember that last time I said we would not go above 59.6, and this happened, right? But this was a black swan. This was a black swan. This was nothing that could be predicted. Even if 90, I don't know, 98%, 90, maybe even 99% of the coin I trade had exits before this happened. So we could have an argument that it was possible to predict. In my defense, I tell you that the momentum was downwards, was pointing downwards, but you get those moments, 10,000 times over 10 years, and practically never it results in something like that. I mean, 10 years maybe too long, but I don't know, 3 years or 4 years, and it never ends up in something like what happened in Friday, right? Because whenever you get downward, let's say downward momentum, you don't really know how strong it is and how it's going to, roll out. Once a blue moon, it does something like this. That's why I never ignore it. I never ignore it. I never touch anything, and I never said limit buy. On some magical, price level. I think it is going to reach, and then it's going to rebound from there. Because if I were to practice something like this, then my money would be long gone, right? Long gone. So from one way it could be, one could say you could know it, but you could not know how powerful it was going to be. That one you could not know. You can never know that. Probably it was planned, but I don't think even the architects of it expected something like this. To be honest, probably not. By the way, share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so. And don't forget that I just made a tutorial about how to acquire HITECH, which is the meme coin. The only meme coin I promote, the only meme coin I will be promoting ever. You will never see me promoting anything else. That means we could say in indirect way, it translates to a stock market of my social media, right? Of all of my, let's say, live streams, all of my social media profiles, because this is the only project I promote everywhere. And yeah, it's a gateway for you to throw something at it and potentially benefit from it greatly. But let me warn you not to go too crazy. Just $1, $2, $3, something small, something for the beginning, symbolic, let's say, because this market is still very liquid. It's still a very, very small market, and it will mature, within a couple of years, few years. The price, of course, will be much, much higher. So you don't really need to risk much here. It's enough if you just literally throw at it like $2 or $3, and it will steal money. Same as when in 2010, 2011, people could buy Bitcoin, right? Literally, few bucks till today, turned into money big enough to buy a nice apartment, pretty much all over the world, right? Even in the expensive, let's say, zones of Western countries. So yeah, so no need to risk. Win lose ratio, risk reward ratio from these levels is absolutely insane. So there's no need to go big, overly big, right? Yeah, so let's maybe discuss what has happened on traditional market because we are highly dependent on it since we've got spot ETFs. So as you see, first of all, we opened quite high, and SPY was pointing to that on my live stream. I was also calling your attention. So take a look. That SPYX, which is tokenized version of SPY, was trading higher than the close on SPY at NYSE. And those tokenized stocks, even if they have much lower liquidity, they retain that ability to show us what is the actual mindset of the traditional market before it opens on Monday, right? Or before, not Monday, before it opens, right? During the working days, on Monday, of course, too. And recently, it goes almost 1 to 1. So the price that reflects there before TradFi opens is I mean the ratio is literally 1 to 1, right? It literally shows us where the opening is going to be. So this one was not a surprise. It was telling me that the bad sentiment, which was born Friday, is already fading away, more and more with every single next day, which is a good thing. But later, as you see, we saw this sell-off, and probably that helped Bitcoin to dip a little bit too. And then towards the end of the trading session, we recovered slightly, and at the end we closed higher than the Tuesday's close. So that's good on Heikin-Ashi candles. When we transfer over, when we switch over to Heikin-Ashi candles, even on normal candles this day is red. When we switch to Heikin-Ashi, it's going to be green, and it's going to be green. It's going to be the first green candle after 3 red days, right? And when we look at statistically what it means in this whole uptrend that we're having for quite some time already, I mean, how many days it is? Let me see. 191 days, right? So 6 months and 11 days, actually. 6 months and 11 days. So the statistics that is quite visible here is that whenever we finally break this mini downtrend, one of those mini downtrends in this overall uptrend, we are back to normal. We are back to the game. We are back on the field, right? So yeah, expect that. Many people are calling for the market collapsing. The mainstream influencers and people that are known commentators of global TradFi of the crypto market, and they're all calling for prices going lower. But right now we are having actually a sign. For now, we have to give it a benefit of a doubt, until proven otherwise, that we are back on the field, right? We are back in the game. Because this is literally what a green Heikin-Ashi candle after a series of red ones. So far, it has worked quite well, right? Statistically speaking, it has worked quite well. So we had a tiny series of red Heikenhachi candles. Now we are having a green one. So now is the time to have a series of green candles. So yeah, by the way, if you hear a little bit of white noise in the background, it's because this laptop is is working very heavily. It is serving my AI that is posting on multiple X profiles, and it keeps promoting high tech, right? Keeps promoting high tech. As you know already, I have created a tutorial about how to buy high tech, so that's why I encourage you to give it a look. And on all of those profiles, I pinned it, on their wall. I don't know how it's called, but that tutorial is as pinned post, right, on all of them, mine included, of course. So whenever they interact with people, and whenever they, I don't know, respond to a comment or post something, if anyone checks their profile, first post they will see is the post about how to acquire high tech, right? So I think that's quite important. Allow me to show you quickly, because there is aside from mine, there's 3 profiles that promote high tech. So here they are. There's one, as you see, it's pinned. This is another one, as you see, pinned. And this is the biggest one, aside from my own. I mean, mine is bigger, but this one is the second biggest. And also, as you see, is pinned in their post. And I already can see effects, right? Because I see, since this is my post, so I have statistics of it, how many people are actually viewing it. So let me refresh it. So it has been viewed 44 times already, right? So that's nice. That's very nice. People keep watching it, and of course, I posted it as well on this YouTube channel. I mean, if you watch it on YouTube, of course, because this live stream goes to multiple platforms. And I add the link to that tutorial on YouTube in every single shorts I post, and it is collecting views there too. So I think the numbers game will literally force the coming of new holders to this market, because at some point, certain percentage of those viewers will give it a try, and I think that will start the avalanche. I know it will start an avalanche. I know it for a fact. It's just a matter of time. So that's why, yeah, the best advice I can give you is just be first, right? It's just be first, because as you see, I'm pressing only more and more. I do not let it go, and I will not let it go. I will be pressing only more and more, and at some point it will break, right? And once the dam breaks, the everything will float in, right? So just be first. Okay. So here I don't think we can say anything additional about it. That gives me extra hope for tomorrow, as a positive day. So far, as we just have seen, Bitcoin has opened in green, has maintained green. Yeah, it's maintaining its green color. So yeah, I mean, once this one's green or strongly green, the game is over. the game is over, and we are back in the rocket. We're back in the rocket, ready to moon, all over the place. And of course, the sentiment definitely does not indicate it could be the case, because as you see, Fear and Greed index is at 32, Altcoin Season index is at 29, so everything is really, really low. So this is literally a perfect time to catch everybody off guard, right? With pants down. So, okay, guys, if you have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat. Remember, that's always an option. And it's always nice when there is interaction from the viewer side. I always get plenty interaction on my Polish YouTube channel. Here, rarely, sometimes it happens, but generally it's rare. But it's because, of course, I still have few followers, few subscribers. So over time will fix it, right? Hard work and time will fix it, and my activity. So yeah, let's take a look at liquidations, how those are doing. So 100, almost 120 million dollars on Ethereum and 88 million dollars on Bitcoin. So they are coming down, right? They are coming down. They are not as high as we've seen them previous days, and that's of course correct. What am I doing? Liquidation hit mom. Let's take a look. What this one's showing us on 2 weekly. So 2 weekly is showing us that the yellow line that previously was hovering above all-time high has come down much closer to the vicinity of where the price is, and that is telling me that this liquidity is organic, and since it's organic, it's not spoofing. By default, we should get a mindset of much higher probabilities of price wanting to go for it. Those, of course, that of course will be executed by market makers. Just in case you are wondering, they always go for liquidity on the derivatives market. That's how they make their living. Whenever people try to short, here they open strong longs and they squeeze them out. They literally take that money, right? Because they have much more capital than people betting here, so they can literally push them back, right, until they hit their liquidation points. That's the privilege of a bigger entity. So the main reason I keep telling you never to go to the futures market and try your luck, right? Because unless you are a really, really big boy, then of course that's a deep place for you. But if you are not, then just stay on the spot market. And again, Friday should have shown you well enough where is your place, right? Where you should be allowed and where not. So here on Bitcoin chart in this very, very tiny scope, so far we are rebounding, and to me that fits the picture. If we see a continuation here, and we finally take out, for example, this local high, then 99% we will go around here. So because of course we will encounter a resistance here probably, and we will the price probably will stay here for, I don't know, maybe a day or two, and then highly likely we will defeat it and go higher. We will overcome it. Let's take a look at here if there is any new news, any new views. Now maybe it's a little bit too late now, because maybe where I'm at is 4:54 a.m. not p.m. So maybe my timeline, my posts are displayed only, in the time zone, or mostly in the time zone where I reside, and that is why I'm not getting any new views right now. But this this literally consumes me most of the day. Now I'm looking at how people are clicking those tutorials, how much interest there is in it, and yeah, given I just literally just posted it. I don't think it's bad. I don't really think it's bad. I mean, I'm a very niche influencer yet, so don't compare me to someone who has a hundred k followers, or I don't know, 500k followers. I don't even have 1k yet, so I'm very very small. But that's your opportunity, right? That's literally your opportunity to catch this thing very early and enjoy a wild ride up. Okay, let's take a look at what is on my timeline. Breaking: Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk openly talking about how Bitcoin fixes fiat money printing, not priced in. Okay, let's see how it goes from here. But I don't think this is first such exchange in between Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk, to be honest. I mean, our conversation exchange is maybe a bad word. Exchange of, I don't know, opinion, or actually sharing an opinion. Bullish. Public companies accumulated 95% of their total ETH holding just in Q3 2025. Okay, 27 firms now hold 4.63 million Ethereum. There's the total supply, circulating supply, I think, is like 122. So 4.63 is not that much. But it's definitely something, right? Because it translates to $19 billion. So that's not a small change for sure. French bank Oddo BHF has launched a euro-backed stablecoin, EURD. I wonder where you can get it. Probably you can find it on Solana. Nowadays, if there is any token launched by institution, whatever institution, I think you can literally bet on it that it's on Solana. Paxos means $300 trillion worth of PYUSD on Ethereum. What? $1 trillion? 300 trillion? I think this is. I don't think this is accurate. I think he meant billions, not trillions, but billions, that would be way too much. Bitcoin Archive is strategy. Bitcoin Reserve now valued at 37 billion. I mean, assuming we know the real number of bitcoins that U.S. government holds. Coinbase added BNB to their listing roadmap. Okay, that's interesting. Probably says 95% of investors have zero Bitcoin exposure. You're way ahead if you're buying Bitcoin today. What my opinion is. I'm highly convinced. My conviction is very high that we still have a lot of room for growth for Bitcoin. I think we are going to see inverse crash in the American economy, and pretty much all over the Western world. So the dollar will devaluate, euro will devaluate, I don't know, British pound will devaluate, and all of the assets measured in those fiat currencies will just skyrocket like crazy. And on top of it, all of the speculative bubble effects uh, will kick in, and there will be still plenty of money to make, with that occasion. So I think Bitcoin will still go much higher, and altcoins finally will get their season, because we haven't seen altcoin season yet. I mean, we've seen like handful of coins doing fairly well so far, but most of the market did absolutely terribly. So now it's about to change. I'll be very surprised if Bitcoin does not show us 150K this very year. I'll be very surprised if that does not happen. Which I repeat almost on every live stream, if not on every single live stream. Crypto chat, if Binance didn't exist. Now this guy, he has no idea what he's talking about. If Binance didn't exist, crypto would be in a totally different place, and not the one he indicates. Okay guys, allow me to wrap it up right here. Share, like, and subscribe. Take a look at my tutorial how to buy Hitech. It's fairly simple, and get yourself like a dollar, two or three, something small. Why? Because you don't need to risk big here. It will still become sizable amount of money in not so long future. And yeah, thank you for your time, and I see you sometime soon. Cheers.